Hey, what's up guys? Clark here from Vanguard Central with a Blackbeard deck profile, the deck that doesn't let you play the game, but I have a lot of fun with it. So yeah, this is the leader. Let's get into the deck profile. So we have 4 of the My Era Begins. This card's super good. Consistency piece, and it fills the trash for your 4-cost Burgess. Next we have 4 of the Stage. This is just to continue searching, continue filtering the bricks out of your hand. It's really good against shanks, really good against decks that are kind of slow because it allows you to accumulate all of your late game pieces, like the 10 cost. Okay, and then we have 4 Finger Pistol. I love hitting this out of life. I love when I'm able to fill my trash to make the 4-cost Burgess a lot bigger. Also, it just gives you some range to get rid of like 7 costs, 8 costs if you have a reducer on board. And then we have 1 Black Hole. This allows you to negate a blocker, also kill a 4-cost, also good in the mirror. Unfortunately, we just have 1 for this. I've just been trying 1 just because the deck space is so tight and some of our matchups are pretty brutal. And you'll see why. We're running 3 of the 6-cost Liberation. This is just to punish decks that go very wide, very fast. Kind of let us catch up a little bit. It does feel bad if we don't have our own board to kind of play off, like having at least like a body that can swing. So if you use this and you don't have any units on the board, you're probably losing the game. So yeah, but for right now it's at 3 just because there's a lot of GP Luffy running around. Next we'll get into the 2Ks. Probably my favorite 2K is Stronger. Gives a lot of it gives a little bit more reduction in the deck that you kind of need. Also, like, you know, if you open with this and Augur, you kind of just have Exodia hand, so it's like really good. The 2K that I would probably remove with these starter decks coming out would be this one, the Shiryu, only because you only ever use this to block, and if you have to drop this down if you're going on the even curve, it means your hand is probably not very good. So yeah, this is probably the 2K that I would remove into the next set. Okay, we're going into some of the pieces of the deck now. We got 3 Lefit. Lefit can be at 2, it can be at 3, it can be at 4 also. I think 3 is okay for right now. The only thing is that Lefit costs 2, and sometimes I can kind of feel expensive in this deck, especially like later in the game, because ultimately you want to be dropping your big body 10 cost. But it is nice that it's able to be very consistent with the stage and the event trigger, or event. And then we have 1 Vasco just for blocking, chump blocking. Chump blockers are very valuable now, especially in the previous meta. If we had like a 1-cost blocker, that would be super good. But we do get Caribou in set 11, that's also a 2K. But I do like this because it's searchable. Also, you can play it off Kuzan. And then we have 4 Doc Q. Doc Q is, you know, KO's a 1. But also, if your opponent swings into it, you get to draw a card. So it's never really a negative. But it just kind of sucks because it can't swing. It has 0 attack. So if you're trying to go for life and this is the only unit on your board, you might not win. So. But the card is really good in combination with the other reducers. So if your opponent doesn't clear the board and you're able to just keep removing their bodies, that's really good for you. One of the main bosses of the deck, Jesus Burgess, really good card. The fact that it can't be removed, also that it gains +1K for every 4 cards in the trash. That's really easy to accomplish in the deck. Burgess just really punishes opponents, especially if you're able to get like a Finger Pistol off or have like multiple searches with the event. This guy just becomes 7K really fast, and if your opponent wants to clear it, they have to put a lot of Dawn under the unit that's going to swing. So super punishing, definitely one of the favorite cards in the deck. Next for the reducing, we have 3 of the Whale Laboon, just for the -4, really good against Purple Luffy, really good against decks that have 5 cost units that are kind of pesky. Not that you really need this card, but I've just been testing it because, like I said, green Purple Luffy is kind of running amok, and you want to be able to get rid of that Sanji Pudding, especially if they don't have stage. So Laboon for the -4, and then we got Van Augur for the -3. This card is super good. It's a 6K, so if an opponent wants to swing into it, they have to attach Dawn, plus you net a card. So in combination with the Dock Q, the Laboon, you're pretty much hitting an 8 cost, you know, and that's really, really nice in the deck. And I like that you're able to always have access to this card. So if you're playing an opponent that will do some cool stuff and you're on 5 Dawn, you just pitch this, and then you play our 5 cost Kuzan, get it back, and you pretty much get another card from it. So you're setting up continuously with this deck. Okay, and then we have 5 cost Kuzan, one of the coolest arts of the deck, one of the most broken cards in this deck, just because it can't be removed. It nets you a card whenever you use the ability. You can also just play it, swing, and then grab whatever you need, whether that's a blocker, that's a Burgess, that's a Van Augur. So many plays you can kind of pivot off with just having this on board. The other combo, like I said earlier, grabbing the Van Augur, is just so good because the plays are kind of limitless. I think this is a staple of the deck, especially because it can't be removed. So your opponent has to, if you're playing the mirror, they have to invest like 2 cards just to get rid of this. And then lastly, we got the main big boss of the deck, 10 cost Teach. Yeah, just super broken because it's a blocker. It's also a 12k swing when you want to attack. Also, it stuns something. But yeah, this card is super, super good. I definitely don't see a reduction in the amount of this card, but I do like that with the starter decks coming up, there's a lot of room for deck building and how you want to kind of play the deck. The deck is already pretty tight, but I'm sure there's a way to make everything kind of work. You just have to hope your matchups are pretty favorable. But overall, the deck is really, really good, super powerful. It just loses to decks that can go kind of wide too fast. Also, any deck with a rush really punishes it because, we don't run a lot of 2Ks, so we kind of have to hope for a finger pistol out of life to kind of stabilize. But if we can get to that stabilization point, we can win pretty commandingly. So yeah, that's the deck profile. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and tune in for the next one.